Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is part 91 of Miss Chastity's story, the woman that married a man that didn't exist according to her. If you are seeing this for the first time, that means you need to start from part 1. The link to the playlist will be in the description, so go start from there. For those that are up to date, let's continue, guys.
Part 91 of How I Married a Man That Didn't Exist. We were all sitting at the table decorating cupcakes. Remember, the girls had a tradition for their birthday. They would be asked if they wanted a cake or if they wanted to decorate their own cupcakes. What little girl doesn't want to decorate cupcakes? Especially these. They love to bake, especially the little one. So we were sitting there and she had asked me, Mama, do you want to decorate cupcakes with me? Of course I fucking do. There is nothing else in this world I would rather be doing right now. So A's kids were there too. She had a boy and a girl. So they interacted with me. They were laughing. They were asking me about the cupcakes and what sprinkles they thought they should use. And I was helping them get the sprinkles out. So I was interacting with her kids and she was sitting there watching the whole time and she still never said anything. I am a firm believer about you protect the babies. You could be my worst fucking enemy on this earth. And if you have a child, that child is safe with me. I don't care who you are. That child is loved around me, safe around me, can laugh around me, can come to me for anything. Some people are not like that. That's how I operate. They are innocent and everything. So I'm sitting there enjoying my time with her children. So we're all decorating. We're having a good time. Once again, she never said anything. And her and Emily sat there still laughing like they were best friends. I felt like I was at the damn kids' table at Thanksgiving. Y'all know that table. I sat at the kids' table at Thanksgiving until I was 22. Baby, you got to be a premium adult to graduate to the adult table. I don't want to say I felt out of place because I was right where the fuck I wanted to be, decorating cupcakes. But they were really just chopping it up. And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, this is crazy. Like, Emily is such a good actress. Like, the amount of fakeness, like, I swear, it was comical almost now that I'm thinking back at it. So, it rubbed me the wrong way. It didn't just rub me the wrong way, because this wasn't an annoyance. It wasn't a bothersome thing. It was, but what I'm trying to say is, this was a confirmation. This is a confirmation that I am in the presence of a snake. Look what she's doing. She talked so much shit about this woman, and now she's laughing in her face. I'm like, wow, this is not my place. This is not my table to sit at anymore. So, I came to the realization in that moment. I was so uncomfortable that I knew. In that moment, I decided I would never come back to this place again. That's how gross it was. That's how uncomfortable it made me. That is how much, and I had been realizing to this point, I had been distancing myself from Emily the most that I could. But I really saw right in front of my own eyes what had been going on with me this entire time too. In that specific moment, I didn't know if I thought I would never see the girls again. I don't think at that moment it crossed my mind. But I was just sitting there and I was spiraling quietly. Like, this was putting me in a bad place, and it didn't take a lot to get me there. I was living in a bad place. You guys saw my video diary entries. So I'm still in a mental health crisis during this duration, and this just set it off. So this experience was just another crack in my mind that was already crumbling. Emily knew how I felt about her, how uncomfortable I was around her. I came for my daughter's birthday. The least she could have done was tell me that she was going to be there, so I wasn't walking in blind.
You know, I told you guys that Emily was still keeping her around because she still had need for her, and she knew she was going to be, have the heart to pay for that girl's birthday. and any other thing they needed at that moment. That's the kind of woman that Emily is. You don't even know if she also got money from the woman herself. You don't even know. It's possible.
This wasn't a pop up and let's see where this goes type shit. They were legitimately sitting there doing her taxes. This was planned. This woman lived fucking 45 minutes, an hour away. This wasn't a spur of the moment event. She knew she was coming and she knew I was coming. Mine wasn't a spur of the moment event either. I had planned to be there. And I'm not going to say she let me walk in blind, but she let me walk in blind to a situation with a woman who hated me, knowing I was going to be uncomfortable as fuck. That felt so gross to me. I felt tricked. I don't know if she thought I said I wasn't going to come. I don't know what she thought. I don't know what her thought process behind that was. But I was like, I don't have to deal with this. Why am I dealing with this? I ain't got to do this shit. Any love, any attachment I had for Emily died in that moment. And I finally saw her for who she was. A user, a manipulator, a con artist. Void of consideration for anyone's feelings but her own and her own agenda. Emily swayed whichever way the wind blew that benefited her the best. Emily's loyalties lied to no one, except apparently her son. So, as the little one opened her presents, I sat silently crying. It wasn't a big ordeal. I had some tears running down my face. I was trying to smile and be excited about what she was experiencing, her excitement in opening her gifts. It was that moment that I felt in my soul a shift happen. I felt that I wouldn't see them again. I can't explain that feeling. I can't explain. It was almost as if literally I felt something change in the air. And I knew. So she was opening her gifts and she said, "I love you, Mama." I soaked it all in. And she asked me why I was crying. And I told her it was because I loved her so much. So I wrote something in her birthday card and I told her that no matter what, that she was one of the best things that had ever happened to me. And that she would always be my daughter. And I wanted her to know that. No matter what, no matter where I am, no matter what happens, you will always be mine. After she opened her gifts, I said I wasn't feeling well and that I was going to go home. I didn't stay for dinner. I didn't stay for cupcakes. I had to leave immediately. And I genuinely wasn't feeling well. It wasn't a fib. So I hugged the girls goodbye. I took some pictures. I took some pictures with the little one. I wish I still had those. I look so bad in those pictures. And I'm not talking about like physically, like, oh, I didn't have my lashes on that day. I'm talking like you could tell how defeated I was. So, I hugged the girls goodbye. Emily hugged me goodbye. She told me she loved me. She told me she missed me, to keep in touch, to come back whenever. We'll plan something soon, whatever. And I left. That was another instance in which I cried the entire way home. I cried because I was in pain. I cried because I felt like Emily tricked me into coming into a house where she knew I would be uncomfortable. I cried because that was a pattern. I cried because I realized it was a pattern on this day. I cried because I thought that I would never see my daughters again. April 28th. And it was. That was the last day I saw my daughters. It's now September. It's been almost 5 months since I've seen the girls. And in the upcoming parts, you'll get a better picture as to why that was stopped and why that was cut off. And when I think back to this day, most of the time, you never know when something is going to be the last time. You'll never know when the last time you're going to hug someone is. You'll never know when the last time you're going to see someone is. And I just think back, and I wish I had hugged them a little tighter before I left. It wouldn't have made a difference. 10 extra seconds. But I miss them being in my arms. They were always the good thing. They're the only good thing about Rob. They're the only good thing he's ever done. And he can't even love them right. He can't love them at all.
See, he cannot love them right because he never had any iota of love for anybody. Even his mom, let's be for real, he doesn't even love his mom because somebody like that does not know what love feels. He doesn't know what it feels to love somebody or to even love himself. He does not love himself. And anybody that doesn't love themselves, they cannot give you any good love. So they can only fake it because they don't know what love feels like. Do you get? And I feel sorry for her. I actually feel for her, especially for those children, like I've been saying. Those children they are so victimized. It will take a while for them to actually heal because they are still growing up. So, and their father will continue to put them in that situation over and over again because that's how selfish she is. Even their grandmother, she's also selfish. She's not thinking about them either. They'll keep putting them in this situation over and over so long as they keep getting what they want from these women. It's not going to stop anytime soon unless somebody steps in and does something that will, take those children away from the two of them. Guys, I'll see you in part 92. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.